Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Once again, welcome to Live with Hector Aguilar of Aguilar Realty Group. Today, I have the honor and pleasure of hosting my good friend Tristan Ahumada. As you know, many of you know that Tristan became a Rookie of the Year at Century 21 at a very young age of 24. He is now the top 1% of all real estate agents in the US. And Tristan also created Lab Coat Agents, a Facebook group that hosts about 160,000 plus agents that come and tune in every single week to get new tips and trade of the trade, techniques, tech, and all kinds of awesome stuff that he does and features on Lab Coat Agents. Today, I'm really honored to have him on. Tristan, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you making the time, carving out a little bit of your time out of your busy schedule. Welcome to Live with Hector Aguilar.
I'm happy to be here, man. Thanks for allowing me to talk to everyone. I want to get right into this one. So the title of this is Conquering the Market. And of course, it's a tough market. It's not something that a lot of agents are actually used to, because some of those agents that came in, they don't know this market. So
Right.
I'll give you an example and then we'll get into it. I've had one agent that's newer on the team that when this market started shifting maybe about a year and a half ago or so,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "Hey, Tristan, I haven't had a listing not sell in less than 30 days. We're like day 45. How do I talk to the sellers and let them know they need to drop the price?" I was like,
Right.
"Oh crap.
It's a
It's
little
that
panic
time
setting,
of
right?
the week." Oh, damn. Yeah. So the very first thing that I noticed that we needed to talk about and address is, how are you doing up here?
Right.
Because that determines how you show up everywhere, right? Now you show up at home, how you show up in person, how you show up on virtual events, how you show up anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the challenge is that if your business is coming from referrals, past clients, which we'll get into a little bit, if it's coming from online leads, if it's coming from postcard, if it's coming from anywhere, think of the approach, and I'll pick the one that I hear the most negativity on, and that's online leads, right? All sources, online leads. The number one thing I hear is online leads suck, right? And so, but think of the approach, the mindset in the approach here. You come in as a lead, Hector, and I'm calling you. I'm saying, "Hey, Hector, it's Tristan with EXP Realty. I noticed that you visited our website through Google, right?" And then you're like, "Yeah, I'm just looking, Tristan."
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you know what? When you're ready, let me know." And I hang up, and then the first thing I say is, "Damn, how many of these suck? Everyone is just looking,
Right.
right?"
Or you get the traditional answer, which is like, that wasn't me. I was just strolling. I didn't submit my information, right? That's kind of what you're going to get most of the time.
Almost all the time. Or my son clicked on it. My daughter was. I actually, I
Right.
don't even know how you got my. So the different approach would be, they come through. Oh, dude, we. I'll tell you the story right after, because it just happened yesterday. But um, the lead comes through, Hector, and this time I'm like, "Hey, Hector, it's Tristan with EXP Realty. You just visited our website through Google. Listen, you're probably not looking to buy anytime soon, and that's okay. I just want to make sure that I don't spam you. Listen, what are you looking for? You're looking to be closer to the beach or up on the hills?" And it does two things, because my mindset's like, I just want to help, and they're feeling it. And it's two things. One, if you're ready, you're going to be offended that I just said you're not looking right now. And you're going to be like, "No, Tristan, actually, I am."
Right on.
Right. That's one. The second one is great. I feel a little bit more at ease. Sure, I'll open up. This guy seems like he's not pressure selling me on anything. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. You don't want to spam me. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want
Right.
to spam." Listen, I want your experience and everything that you do with us virtually to be fun. And it's like, I don't want to, Hector, I don't want to send you crap you don't want to take a look at.
That makes
And you're
sense.
like, "Makes sense." So then I go, "So what's bringing you to Malibu?" And then that allows me to stop talking with commission breath, right?
Right.
Because the number one reason we have that is because we're not in a good place mentally. We're worried about our finances. We're worried about what's going on here. What about the market, NAR, this and that, a whole bunch of crap. None of that matters.
Right. But it can
None of
affect
that.
our mindset.
Yeah, dude. Look, there are still 4 million plus, just a little bit over 4
Mm-hmm.
million plus homes, but that's 8 million plus transactions, because there's two sides,
Right.
right? So you think about that, it's like, got it. Okay, now that I've got this down, it's like, what do I do to keep it in place? And that's the biggest challenge here. We have a lot of people coming through, and this is the conversation they have in their head. Hector, if shit goes wrong, they're going to be talking to themselves, going, man, I suck. Oh, why is it that every time that why is that person, Hector, why is Hector doing better than me? Why did Hector get that listing? He like does nothing all day. I don't understand. Right? This is the conversation we have in our head daily.
Right.
And that becomes a challenge because you're fixed on this fixed mindset, which is you're always looking at how somebody else is doing better than you. And you're comparing yourself, when I want to live in a world where I'm more gravitated to a growth mindset, where I see you succeeding, Hector, and I'm like, damn, I wonder what Hector's doing that's allowing him to win. Maybe I should actually reach out to him because he might be doing things differently than me.
Right.
That growth mindset allows me to look at things differently all across the plane. I look for opportunities instead of being the victim.
Awesome.
And we see that all day in real estate, man. All the door knocking doesn't work. Open houses don't work. Online leads don't work. Buyers are liars, right? All of this crap every day. Mm-hmm. And it gets so tiring, right?
Right.
The thing, the way to change that, the fastest way to change that is to level up who you hang out with. Because if I'm bitching to Hector, Hector's going to be like, who is this guy? And why am I hanging around him? It's like I feel like he's draining me. I'll tell you, Hector, I watch who I hang with carefully because it can drain me. And the conversations, if all of a sudden I'm going into gossip, it's like, whoa, wait a second. Where am I? Like, what's going on? I'd rather be talking about relationships, how to strengthen them. I'd rather be talking about how to better my business through hacks or tools that are working, how to strengthen my mind with books to read, maybe courses to take, people to listen to, podcasts to listen to, right? This is what's important. Who you hang out with challenges you. And that's what rubs people the wrong way sometimes because they feel uncomfortable. Like they feel uncomfortable hanging around you because you're challenging their beliefs. It's like, wait a second. Is it not okay to just sit around and do nothing all day and complain? Because this person's making me feel like I need to do something.
Right.
That is key. So when you're exposed to that, you begin to change slowly, right? It's those circles around you. You want to get in better shape? Well, hang around people that eat well and work out all day. If you want to do better in real estate, hang out with people that are already performing at that level on things that are already working. Referrals, past clients, fear, online leads, postcards, everything.
Makes sense.
Now, when we take a look at what the most commonly thing that's said in sales in general is this: go to where the consumer is. Go to where the consumer is. Meet with the consumer where they're at. Well, Hector, where the hell are they? Give it a guess.
That's the question, right?
Where are they? Give me a guess. No wrong answers, but there is a wrong answer. Go ahead.
They're online.
They're online.
They're on social media. They're on YouTube, on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, you name it.
You've been paying attention, buddy. I love it. So I love that a lot. See, number one is Google. They're on Google. So you have to ask yourself, like, what's my Google plan? What does my Google plan look like? Because if I break down Google, I have 6 things there that I need to be paying attention to. Number one is YouTube, because that's the second most visited website. What's my YouTube plan? Inside of Google, what's my YouTube plan? Am I showing up on YouTube? And if I am, well, if you are, shorts, YouTube shorts, 60 seconds or less are working extremely well. Some of ours have gone viral and we get communication on them. We get people inquiring about certain areas. YouTube works. You just have to show up for it. Number one. Number two is Google AdWords. And Hector, you and I have talked about this before. If you go ahead and Google right now, you listening in, Google your area, whatever your area is. Just type in on Google, homes for sale in, type it in. And then you'll see what pops up. Usually 3 to 4 sponsored posts.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those is typically Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, or Homes.com. Why?
Right.
Because they're playing the Google game as well, and then they're selling us the leads. So
Right.
Google Ads, Google PPC, pay per click. That's number two. What's the plan for that? Do you have one? We do, right? We're investing $20,000 a month just on Google PPC, right? So that's number two. Number three is SEO, like search engine optimization. What's your plan there? Because blogging isn't dead. Making sure your website shows up with the right content isn't dead, because I'm still Googling stuff. Like if I want to move into a certain area, guess what I'm typing in? It's like, how safe is the area? How far is it from the freeway? What can I do shopping around there? And if I'm looking for a beach area, I'm looking, how far is the beach from this area? And all of that information I can find typically on a good real estate agent's website, because they're paying attention to those keywords.
Gotcha.
So blogging, SEO, that's important. That's number three. What about when I'm going in on a certain area and I'm trying to look for your area, Hector? What about Google My Business? Do you even have a Google business page where it has your website, it has your hours, it has your pictures, it has videos, it has your reviews? Because stop sending your reviews to Zillow first, send them to Google, please, first.
Right.
Yeah, which would be, that's the next one. Google My Business is tied to everything Google does. Well, so are those reviews. Work on your Google reviews. That's what you should do, because that all is part of Google Juice. If people type in, hey, looking for a best real estate agent in, and then they put the city, and someone reviewed you and said that was the best real estate agent in that city, it's
You're
just
gonna pop up.
Dude, it's just going towards you.
Right.
So next is Bard, and we've talked about this. Bard is the competitor for ChatGPT, and there's another one I forgot. I think it's I'm drawing a blank on the third one, but there's a third competitor now. But Bard is doing pretty well, and it's free. It's the free version of ChatGPT, but Google made it. So if we look at Bard and we look at its capabilities, all of a sudden it's like, well, we can create a lot of great strategies with Bard, meaning why not type up some blogs and get a head start and say, hey, I want to write up a blog in an area and give me all the things to do in this area. It gives them to you. Then you go in and change it up, make it yours. Now you have a blog.
Right.
What about ideas on social media, right? Which is what we're
Right.
about to get into. But videos on YouTube, hey, Bard, make me an outline for a 5-minute video on the 3 best things to do for this specific area with a family. And it outlines it for you. And now you have a video you can shoot, or at least talk about. You don't have to be there.
Right.
But the point is that now you're going deeper on Google. And once we're done with Google, which included YouTube, right? That's number 1 and 2 most visited websites. Then we look at Facebook. And what's your Facebook plan, man? Facebook's not dead. Facebook's still growing as of quarter number 1. Facebook was still growing. They just passed 3 billion monthly active users.
Wow. 3 billion.
3 billion. That's insane. Exactly. Well, everybody's saying, I'm going to jump out of Facebook. I'm not going to. Yeah, go ahead and do that. I'll sit there and just continue to use it and benefit from it, because its organic reach is going deeper and marketing is performing much better now that a lot of people jumped out. And who's benefiting? The people that are still doing it.
I see.
So Facebook is the 3rd most visited website in the world, and that's not going to change anytime soon, because number 4 is also owned by Meta. It's Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And Instagram just surpassed Twitter, which is now X, right? Twitter as number 4. Twitter's now number 5. But what's your Facebook and Instagram plan? What is it? How often are you showing up? Are you using it as a database to connect with people? Or we're going back to mindset, Hector, where we're showing up to Facebook and Instagram and be like, oh, it's just all propaganda. Mark Zuckerberg just wants to control the world and sell us everything. Look, I don't care if that's true or not. I'm going to show up for social media to treat it like a CRM and connect with people like Hector. Connect with people that want to be part of what I'm putting out there. My job is to show up daily and to connect with people to build relationships on social media. That means I'm going to go through my feed and I'm going to be like, ooh, what's Hector up to? Oh, Hector's out at Portos. We were talking about Portos the other day, Hector.
Yes, we were.
I was like, oh, he's at Portos. Oh, I love those. What are those? The
The
beef
guayaba
balls,
ones?
potato one, the potato beef
Oh, the
balls. What are
potato balls. Yeah, the potato balls with
those?
the beef in it.
Those are insane. So if I'm watching you eat those, I'm going to be like, dude, I love those. Right. So I'm going to like your post. I'm going to comment on it. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to message you privately. And I'm going to be like, dude, those are my favorite. And where is Portos close to you? And you'd be like, and then you engage with me. And then you check out if I'm posting. And then now I hack the algorithm. Now I'm showing up on your feed. The point is, I'm being purposeful on how I use social media instead of it letting it use me. This is my job. It's become an arm to prospecting. It's become just like door knocking, which I love door knocking. It's become like open houses. It's become like cold calling. It's become like community events, like postcards, social media. In fact, each social media outlet is like each one of those because they function slightly differently.
Mm-hmm.
What's your Facebook plan? Because the majority of people that own homes in the United States are on Facebook. 70% of Americans are on Facebook, and the average age of a person that uses Facebook is 34 or older. Damn,
Wow.
34 to 38. So now you think it's like, wait a second, that means they're the majority of home owners. That means they can sell a home too. So for me, I'm looking at, great, how am I showing up on Facebook? Next, how am I showing up on Instagram? If it's the 4th most visited website in the world, what does that mean? And this is where it becomes a challenge, Hector, because we're like, well, what do I do, man? I can't dance and I'm not funny, right? How am I going to show up on social? I'm like, well, what do you enjoy doing? And what do you do for a living? This is where you have to mix, and you have to be like, what do I like doing? What are my interests? And what do I love doing at work? Like, what's my specialty? And if my specialty is luxury or working with seniors or working with first-time home buyers or whatever it is, that's what I'm going to niche down on. And then on the other side, my interests, what are those? Hector, I'm going to ask you, man. I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you love doing? What, like, for fun on the side when you're not working, even though we're working all the time?
Yeah, for me, it's being on the water. I mean, for me, my family and I, we love being at the river, going to the lakes, going to the oceans. We love to travel to like exotic places. So like
Nice.
Cancun, Riviera Maya, Tulum, we've been to Costa Rica. I mean, I've been all over the place, but that's what's fun for me.
Dude, I need to see that side of it on social. Like, I love you need to tell us, like, you love the water. This is where you love the water. I need to see you out there. Show us the places you go to when you go to those places. That aspect of social is you're allowing me to connect with you at the level of authenticity that I want to know you at. It's like, got it. You showed up on a personal level. What else does Hector do? What does Hector do for a living? And then in between, you're like, oh, I sold this one. Oh, first-time home buyers, luxury, whatever you're showing up as in between. Right. Now I'm connecting with you and I like you on things that you and I like. And now I'll listen to what you do for a living. And we try to reverse it, right? Where the majority of people work like that. The majority of people want to connect with you on a personal level. There will be 1, 2, or 3% of creators on social where they're just going to talk about real estate, or they're just going to talk about their business. And that works too. But this, what I just told you, works more. So now it's like you've got a plan on social, right? Great. But still, the number one source of business for all real estate agents, hands down, is referrals. So what the hell is your referral plan? Like, what's your referral plan? I can't believe I asked this question to people. It's like, I don't know. I just ask people. So I just ask people for business. I'm like, think about that approach, because if you're calling me on my phone and this is the 5th time in a year, you said this is a business call and I want to know, and you want to know who I know that wants to sell, buy, or invest in real estate, dude, I am not picking this phone up anymore, right? Because you're just spamming me at that point. It's like no value.
Yeah. So
why don't you approach this like you want to be approached? Like, if you don't want to be spammed by shit, don't give out shit. So here's the secret, all right? And since you're in coaching, You know this one. It's the acronym HOP, right? Your brand needs to meet your core sphere and your past clients, those people that know you when you're at a supermarket and they wave at you, "What's up, Hector?" Like that those people, right?
Right.
Your brand needs to meet them at home, that's an H. Your brand needs to meet them online, and your brand needs to meet them in person. HOP. And if you do that consistently, you can expand on it and scale it. Because what I'm about to show you, like, this is the full picture. Well, almost the full picture. And I don't want you to do all of it. I want you to see what you can apply now. So when we start with H, if my brand wants to meet this core sphere and past clients at their home, I'm thinking, what's the most authentic, non-expensive way I can do? That's why I always think first, right? At home. And for me, if I grab a little note card, write down, be like, okay, this note's going out to Hector. Hey, Hector, it's Tristan. Right. And it's not going to be spammy, man. It's not going to be like, I hope you're doing well at your house. Just checking in. Like, well, that's crap, man. I don't want that. I want some real heart into it. Like, what did you do for the summer? Right? What did you enjoy about the summer? What are you doing with your kids? What are you up to? Tell me a little bit about you so that when you ask about me, I actually feel like you care. Right?
Right.
You have to add some personality to it. I'm connecting with you, Hector, already because I like you. So make me like you more and don't make me think that I made a mistake for liking you. Right?
Right.
No quote. Free. Well, like super cheap on Amazon and Target,
Right.
right? Super cheap. If you want to take that up a level, then you go to handwritten or addressable mail, or there's like 3 or 4 great companies out there. And now you can go on there and type the actual card and it'll print it out with a little pen, a little machine.
Right.
Right? And then you can add a gift. You don't have to, but you can add a gift. Now you're going, it's like, okay, I'm doing this more routinely. And if you want to take it to the next level on that, it's like, well, you can actually go to addressable mail, pick a farm your neighborhood that way, or the core past clients. And now they're getting something written. And I'll tell you, this is what I do. If I'm hiking in these hiking trails that I have,
Hmm.
I write down the hiking trail names and I'm like, okay, got it. I take a picture wherever I go at the top of it so you have a nice view. And now I send it to like 20 people that are my neighbors, handwritten notes. I just have to type it in once. I'm like, hey, I went down this trail, and at the top, this is what the view looks like. I don't know if you've been on this trail before, but you've got to check it out. Any trails that you suggest I go on? And now the front of the postcard is this beautiful picture that I took with handwritten note that's very personal inside to my neighbors.
Right.
This is how you have to start thinking. It's like, and postcards. Like, if you want to go the postcard route, guess what? It still works, but it takes a longer time. That's part of your brand. You're
Right.
mixing it in there. Like, what type of information are you delivering that's valuable? Right? How's the market? What's it going? Ask questions that people can then be like, yeah, how is the market going? Is the market going to crash? What's going on? Right? How's my area? Postcards. And then the last piece on home on H for me is gifts. I love getting gifts. I love ordering I love ordering shit on Amazon and opening the boxes. I just I'm like,
I think everyone does. I think we're all so used to ordering on Amazon. They're like, you're like, oh man, I got a box. What's in it? You get all excited.
right?
Stuff came, right?
Yeah, man. And this is me ordering it. So imagine me getting gifts from somebody else.
Right.
This is where we've done such a great job on gifting to our core past clients and core sphere. And this goes along with what, remember Buffini, he used to do the pop buys.
Yep.
Well, we were able to scale that by going to Client Giant and choosing gifts and then giving out gifts quarterly. Now you can go super poor doing this. So don't go out and do this immediately. Pick the clients, very few of them, that refer you business consistently, right? So track that. For
Right.
us, it's really a handful, but we're also on a higher price point, right? So if we do one sale, we can cover like a ton. So
Sure.
we're okay picking the higher price point for gifts for these people. So
Right.
lots of different gifts. The point is meet them at at their home. Your brand, meet them at their home every time. That's one. Number two, online. This one is very extensive. In most cases, I suggest people start here because it's free and it's super scalable. Meaning, what's your plan for your brand meeting them online? Anything you can do, Hector, with this, right?
Hmm.
I would say is online. Calling, texting, emailing. What's your newsletter look like? If you don't have one, use MailChimp. It's free up to a certain amount of people, right?
Right.
Then what about social media? We just went through like, comment, message. Pick
Right.
your social media weapon: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. What is it? Show up there with your core sphere and past clients. Make them feel special. Then
You
on
know, I've been
top of
doing
that,
that. I've been doing the like, comment, and share, right? You and I
yeah,
talked about that about a month ago. And so I've been, diving in about 10, 15 minutes a day, engaging. And I got to be honest with you, like the responses that I'm getting are way more organic, way more interesting than what I was getting when I kind of automated it, right? I had a VA kind of do a system of reaching out to them because I thought it was all about leverage, right? It's all about making that time
it's
more
plummeting.
valuable for you, right? You
Yeah,
got to balance it out, but it was impersonal. It was really impersonal, and I
yeah.
would gather to say that sometimes my messenger messages, people were kind of scratching their head, like, is he really talking to me, or is
Like
it a
what's
bot, right? And so I really appreciate you sharing that with me because over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been kind of engaging on average with 10 or 15 people on Facebook through Messenger, and I'm being genuine, right? I'm commenting on what they're doing because people. Here's the thing that I think we miss is that Facebook is social and so is Instagram, right? They're sharing their life with you, right? And so beyond going over like a heart or a like, you taught me, hey, make a comment, be genuine, and then drop them a message in Messenger and let them know that you thought about them today and that hopefully their experience today was awesome. Something that has to do with that post they made. And I've been doing that, and I've been getting a way better response. So thank you for that.
Dude, well, thanks for doing it. The key is actually performing it, right? So that's part of your brand, meeting them online.
Hmm.
And I don't think we do that enough. And then on the online way, this is all free. But if you want to start investing and going that route, then you start looking at Google PPC, right? Then you start looking at possibly hiring somebody to help you with Google Ads, so that some of those blogs can then show up on their feed as they're scrolling through, and
Right.
then retargeting on Facebook and Instagram. Like, you could do a lot more when you put some money behind it. But the key is, let's start with the free stuff first. I can guarantee you that most people aren't doing the free stuff
Right.
extensively, right? Especially newsletters. So that's online. And when you go to the third piece to this, which is in person, that I think is when you bring it full circle. Like we just had Hector. I don't know if you were on the call yesterday with Mark. We broke down the community event we just did on Saturday, and we door knocked 600 doors. We called some of our past clients, invited those over to the community event at the park that we did, and it was from 12 to 4 p.m. We had vendors there, like a shaved ice cream a truck, taco person. We had about 10% of the people show up, so about 60-ish people,
Hmm.
pretty good. And then from there, this was Saturday, 3 days ago. We're already working with somebody to list and sell. That's one whole client. The cost of the event, after splitting it with our vendors, is about $3,000 for us. Our
Hmm.
average price point in that area is about 800,000. So we'll already be profitable on that easily because it's a purchase and a buy.
Out of
So
curiosity, that event that you had, was it a market that you already serve, or was it like
no,
a new market, or how did you
brand
determine
new,
the area?
brand new. Mark just moved there,
Okay,
so this is our first community event there,
right on.
and it was really well received. So very, very good. Great question, man. So when it comes to events, you could do one that's a little larger like this. You could also do what we like to do, small lunches or dinners with three of our great past clients or core sphere and their
Great
spouse,
idea.
right? And we go that route. We typically pick a really nice restaurant so they can remember it. They're like, oh, remember
Mhm.
the time we went to, right? and then you're the center of that conversation. And then the last piece to this is the one-on-ones, the coffee. The one-on-ones always extremely great because it allows us to connect at a deeper level with people. So the one-on-one has been probably the most fun for me, right? I know some of my team likes the bigger events, but for me, it creates some anxiety because I have to worry about piecing everything together.
Right.
But
I'm with you.
they,
I would rather do like one-on-ones. And, I've been in the business 31 plus years. We have easily over 1,000 clients. And
yeah,
honestly, we prefer the one-on-ones. We just had dinner with the client of ours that introduced us to one of their good friends, a local business owner here in the city of Azusa. And we've met them now for 3 times. So again, it's about establishing those relationships. And I totally understand what you're saying in terms of large events. We have one every year. We do a Thanksgiving event where we do a couple things. We do a food drive. We'll invite our guests to bring us food, and we donate that food to a local food bank that we found that does amazing work in our community, right? We actually hand out those nice big Costco pies, those pumpkin pies or apple
oh
pies.
yeah, they're massive, dude.
Yeah, we bought close to 100 pies this last time. We invited probably something around 300 to 400 people. I think we had about 15% show, so it's around that 10-15%. We had about
Yeah,
56 people show, and we're looking to expand more events. So I totally get what you're saying. The events, when it's large events, it's a little bit stressful. You got to organize a little bit more, right? And
very
honestly, it doesn't give you the time to spend quality time with the people
one-on-one.
who come by, right? The
You got
one-on-one, right? You almost have to be like almost like a hummingbird, right? Like picking at the flowers just a little bit because you got to spread yourself thin. So I'm with you. I like the private small dinners like I had this past weekend, or even one-on-ones. We'll go and have coffee and sit down and kind of just hash it out, see how things have been.
That's it, man. And then I'll wrap it up with one simple thing, HOP. But in between all this, you really need to stay on top of the market, like understand what's happening on the news, because the number one question we're getting, even at the community event, what's happening with the real estate market, right? Number one question we're getting right now, because if you think of the the majority of the nation as a whole, look at where they're at. They either own a home or they're looking to buy a home.
Mhm.
The living situation is extremely core to the family, and it's
Absolutely.
always something that's concerning to them. So if you have a response for that, and I'm not talking about your shitty response, it's about it's always a good time to buy. Let's get a little bit real and be like, well, I don't know. Let's talk about what you want to do, right? Here's the situation in this area.
Right.
Here's what's happening. Interest rates, here's where they're at. And I don't have a crystal ball, but here's my understanding of it,
Right.
right? And they'll appreciate that. So when you wrap all of that together, you start to put the pieces to actually doing really well in this market. And that's all I got for you, Hector.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I just wanted to, let our guests know that if they want to be part of this amazing coaching group that I'm part of with Tristan, a Brilliant Tribe Coaching, it's something that he typically will sign us up for $497 a month. Right now, he's extending a really nice discount here through the end of September 4th. I've got a discount code for you. So if you're interested in being part of a Brilliant Tribe with Tristan and some of his wonderful coaches, I'm telling you, I'm learning a lot. I'm kind of more make sense stuff, more reality stuff versus just all the noise. He's extending that offer to you. So if you guys are interested, be sure to, hit me up, send me a text message. You can DM me on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to provide you guys that discount code. Again, it expires September 4th. We got a few days. Treat yourself to some nice coaching. And look, there's a ton of coaching out there, you guys. And the truth is that a lot of it is expensive. $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, some are even $2,500 a month. And I guarantee you're going to get a lot of value for, less than, $10 a day or $3 a day, whatever it is. And you're gonna end up implementing some amazing tools and getting around people. Like you said, you're leveling up who you're hanging with. And I'm doing so by being part of this coaching system. And I think you guys can take some great value out of that. So, Tristan, thank you so much. Grateful for your time. I know you're busy and totally appreciate every special word that you shared with us today. I look forward to our coaching sessions. And once again, everyone, reach out, Brilliant Tribe Coaching. Send me a DM, text me. I look forward to seeing you on there. Thanks again, Tristan. You have a wonderful day, man. Take care.
Appreciate
Take
you.
care, everyone.